And hi everybody, and welcome to the Silver Fox blog. I'm Rich Roste, and this segment brought to you by Eastway Bowl, located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, on the east side, East 10th Street. And if you stop by there, there is something for everyone. There's a lot of stuff going on. Great bowling, great games, great food. There's something for everyone. Just check out their daily specials at eastwaybowl.com. Well, folks, the recess is over, and it's back to work for the Sioux Falls Storm. Last week, the Storm had a bye week. It was a great time to have a bye week. Players needing to get some of those bumps and bruises all ironed out, and also there's some guys that we really need to have back on the field that we're hoping that with the extra week off that they were able to get themselves finally totally healed up, like Corey Johnson, Sean Treasure, Isaac Snell, just to name some. And it's going to be great to have them back on the field, but they won't go on the field until Orthopedic Institute, the trainers and the doctors there, say it is perfectly safe and they are totally ready to get back on the field. So that's one of the real benefits the Storm have, is they have the great medical staff that can tell them and help them get back on the field, but only when it is right for them to do that. Now, last week, the Sioux Falls Storm had a bye, and like I said, it was a great time to have a bye. But as Coach Riggs talked about in the Curtis Riggs Show on Tuesday, you know, this is the Storm's second bye week. However, the first one was the first week of the season. So really, as far as them getting a break during the course of the year, it really wasn't. This really is only their first break, and they'll have one more later on in the season. So a little bit misleading as far as having 3 bye weeks during the course of the year. When you have your very first week as a bye, you just start later, and you're just, regular situation, you might say. But as far as the Sioux Falls Storm, they're coming off that great win out in Wichita, come from behind win. It was Coach Riggs' 100th win as the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm. Rob Zarelli kicked the great field goal to finish off the scoring on the field, and the defense comes up with a touchdown as T.J. Simmons gets a fumble recovery from their quarterback after a great rush in the end zone, and the Storm win by a score of 34-27. Now, after that, we got a bye week, and then now this week, Colorado is coming into town. So, as far as who is going to be ready and back on the field again, I really can't tell you for sure, because Coach Riggs keeps that pretty much under his hat until he gets closer to game day. And he doesn't have to list his 25-man roster until Thursday night, and neither does Colorado for that matter. But anyway, as far as who's going to be on the field, it really doesn't matter for the Sioux Falls Storm, because whoever has been there and is on the field, they've been doing a fantastic job. And, the defense, especially when I think back to Colorado, they held them to 27 points. Here's a team that's been scoring almost 50 or over 50 points a game. Now, Colorado is coming into town this week, the Colorado Ice, and they are 0-7 on the year. And that some people may think is misleading, because they've been taking Amarillo to task. Amarillo is the only undefeated team within the IFL, and they lost to Amarillo 47-40 in their last contest. Well, Amarillo hasn't been playing the elite of the league. I don't know if any of the teams that they have played has much better than a 500 record, if that. So as far as the legitimacy of the undefeated season so far for Amarillo, that will be seen as they play different competition. So Colorado comes into this game, and they have some real talent offensively. They have a wide receiver named Cashmere, they have a running back named Purity, and a quarterback named Knighton. Those 3 guys are going to be the keys to the game for Colorado come Saturday, because the quarterback threw for over 200 yards against Amarillo. The running back has had 100-yard ball games this year. They just haven't had them at the same time. And Cashmere is the one variable that has just come into their team from Billings, and he got traded down to Colorado, and so he is really a good wide receiver. So those 3 guys are going to be the key to their offense. And as far as Colorado is concerned, they've been scoring some points this year. 38 points a game that they've been scoring. Not a lot, but it's not a bad average. You right around 40 or more is what you want to have your offense scoring. The problem for Colorado is their defense, and they've been giving up 54 points a game. to the opposition that they've been playing. And granted, they've been playing Billings, and they've had some really tough games where they had a lot of points scored against them. But their defense is going to be the question mark. And I failed to mention about their offense. They have had, I think, 5 or 6 different quarterbacks in games this year. They've had, I think, 10 different wide receivers and running backs carrying the football. So their offense is really in a state of flux, and Coach Colin Sanders has been working to try to find the right mix. The biggest problem is defensively, and they have brought in, I believe, a new defensive coordinator, and they're working to make some changes there. They made some adjustments, but the biggest thing for Colorado is if they're going to stay in the game with the Storm, they have to have a defense that gets the ball on turnovers or gets some stops against the Sioux Falls Storm. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long night for the Colorado Ice. Now, when you think about this as far as the Storm is concerned, they should take care of business quite easily, on paper and everything else like that. It's kind of like, a college student, a smart high school student getting ready to take his college entrance exams and his admission exams. And, he really expects to ace it. He goes in there, and all of a sudden he finds out there's stuff in there he wasn't prepared for, he's not ready for, and doesn't do very well. Well, the Storm is kind of like that going into this ball game. They should go in and ace it. However, you never know what Colorado's going to come up with or what changes they have made. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but look for the Sioux Falls Storm to come up with an ace on this test. Now, one thing I want to mention to all you folks listening and watching is the fact that the players would really appreciate if you would be in your seats for the introductions, because the players really play off of that energy. And Coach Riggs even talked about it on Tuesday on his show, that sometimes the Storm plays a little flat in that first quarter because the energy wasn't there to start with. So we're really encouraging fans to get in their chairs, get in there and cheer on the team as they're introduced, and also for the pregame ceremonies that they're going to have at the Sioux Falls Arena this weekend, or like the motorcycles come in and everything about it. It's all a part of the great event that's called the Sioux Falls Storm. So thanks for stopping by. Again, this is the Silver Fox blog. It's been brought to you by the Eastway Bowl in Sioux Falls. And there is something for everyone there. Just check out their specials at eastwaybowl.com. Now, next week I'll have another blog for you as the Sioux Falls Storm getting ready to take on Sioux City next week. And don't forget, that's in Sioux City, and there are tickets available on the Storm Chasers bus tour. But again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you again next week on the Silver Fox blog.